I don't think you could barely even with a queen like me. I don't think they barely breathing, cause you're too green. I don't barely breathing with a girl like me. I don't ever really get into that ecstasy. I don't think you could barely even with a dream like me. I don't think you barely breathing, you're too green. I don't think you could even change a little me. I don't think you could ever make a scene. Let's do the scene. I don't think you could ever be with a queen like me. I don't think you could fit in with Josephine. And you're too mean, and you're too clean, and you're not obscene. And you're too mean, and they are clean, and obscene. You got the paper clip scene, you're obscene. You make that money, you make that green, and then you hang with those teens. I told you, you're too mean, you're too mean. With Queen Josephine, I'll you a lot to do that can't sing. I'm a fantastic, I can't sing. And you just want to be that one, between things. Josephine, Stephanie, and Queen. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a queen. Down with a paper clip, stand back to me. Just stay bubble, and stay bubble, and stay for me. I'm down with a paper stand. I wanna be with electric queens. Impossible to be a dream queen. Everything, everything, everything. Impossible to get with queen shame. You gotta understand. She me. Oh, you gotta understand, she's not me. All she wants to be a trinity king. She's not me. My impossible to be seen if me impossible to be with that queen on that paper scene. You tell me, you tell me, you can't go. Impossible to be with that queen on that scene. And if you're in that paper clip scene. Impossible to be with a queen if you're that mean. You're stuck in a rut on a paper scene.
This is Pam Electric Ghost, and this is our continuing series of song deconstructions. I'm an electronic music artist. Been recording songs since I was a teenager. I started off with a Casio CZ101, and then I moved up to a D5, Roland D5, and then I started using a Tascam 4-track recorder with a chord sequencer. And then I took a break for many years, and then I finally got back into it. I got a Roland Juno TI, and then eventually started to build a hardware workflow, starting with that Roland Juno TI that's like 1,300 sounds, and a digital recorder built in. Then eventually I bought a Zoom R16, upgraded to a Zoom R24 24-track recorder, integrated an Arturia Beatstep Pro, which is an awesome sequencer, has multiple lines of sequencing, and then added a JDXI from Roland, and that's when I started doing vocals, and I created the character Josephine Electric from the vocoder that's resident in the JDXI. That was kind of an accident. I didn't like my kind of deep male voice, and I found that being able to have the female voice allowed me to have a tone that kind of varies with the music I do. Because if you check a lot of rock music, you'll notice you'll get like Led Zeppelin got that falsetto coming from Robert Plant. You've got Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses, Queen, Prince. A lot of rock music, or even any kind of pop music, you've got a lot of men doing falsettos or doing voices that are not as deep as their normal voice. And it seems to kind of complement the music and allow it to have a frequency for the vocal that's different from the rest of the song. So I've been working on this song, Possible to Be with a Queen Like Me, which basically is a new character I created using a Roland VTO3 instead of JDXI, which is a vocoder, standalone vocoder from the Aria line, Roland. And I've got that integrated into my workflow. I have it going into an MX1 performance mixer, and then going from there to the Zoom R24. I've also in the song I just wrote, I used a Make Noise Morphogene to sample some older Family Electric Ghost songs and use that as a background vocal. I used a drummer from Another Mother, a DFAM from Moog. I have a Euro rack that I just got a couple months ago from Arturia called a 6U. It's like 2 rows of modules. I've got my Mother 32 in there from Moog, which is an awesome semi-modular synth, and then I've got the DFAM also in the rack. And then I have the Make Noise Morphogene, which is a sampling module that has a lot of time shifting capability. You can play the filters. I've also got a Make Noise Morphogene, which I have controlling the DFAM signal and altering it in that the math module is like a control module, it's basically a utility, and you can use it to modify signals. And I have it modifying the DFAM signal to alter the speed of what's coming out of the DFAM, and you can do a lot of cool modulations with it. You can play the filter. I also have it controlling the Mother 32 signal, and I can manipulate it and kind of play the filter like a Moog. And I find it very useful because in my recording I don't use a digital audio workstation. I kind of live recorded all my synths, my digital and analog synths into a Zoom digital recorder, kind of real time, and then I overdub. And what it allows me to do is have what I call expansive sound experience, where I can take analog and digital signals and take the feed coming right from the synths and the drum machines I have, and use those to manipulate and create music. I also have an Arturia Mini Brute 2S, which is like the heart of my rack, Euro rack, because I'm able to take the VCA signals from all the synth modules and bring them into the Arturia 2S, and then output that to the quarter inch into the MX1 mixer, and then from the MX1 mixer, I can do a stereo signal left and right from the MX1 performance mixer to the Zoom R24. And at the end of the day, what that does is it takes mono signals from my Studio Electronics microphone and my VTO3. Well, VTO3 has a stereo signal, but I'm able to take mono signals from synths, analog synths, and convert them to stereo by using 2 mixers. At the end of the day, that's how I do it. Rather than doing it inside a Ableton Live or any of the other FL Studio or any of the other systems, I'm able to do that. And I find that gives me a really clean, pure signal and without any kind of compression. And so this song, when we get back to the song, is like I create a new character using the VTO3, using the pitch control and the format, and created Stephanie, which I've been working on trying to create Stephanie for a while. And Stephanie in Windhover is a character that I created in a science fiction short story when I was at college. I went to Bowdoin College, and I created a short story called September, which I've actually released as a play, a musical play, like a rock opera, electronic music rock opera. And it's out there on all the streaming services. And Stephanie is a character in the story. She's like a goddess that's been reincarnated from multiple time periods. And I have all these gods and goddesses that are based on the calendar year. And September is kind of like a Virgin, Virgo character that's trying to fight against this other character called a wolf, the White Wolf, and the White Wolf's like a corporate raider. He's like very greedy and manipulative and trying to destroy the world just for his own personal gain, which we can kind of see people doing that kind of thing today. But Stephanie, I just wanted to have another character within Phantom Electric Ghost. The Phantom Electric Ghost, the idea of it, kind of like the Gorillaz, it's a group of like artists that are phantasms or ghosts. So Phantom Electric Ghost is the central, ghost character, and he's the keyboard player. He plays, he's the producer, and then Josephine Electric is the primary lead singer. She's a ghost, and Stephanie, she's a ghost. And I've got some other characters that show up from time to time. And then I collaborate with other artists like All Control K from Los Angeles last year, on the album To Infinitum. I've also collaborated with Lonnie Claire out of New York City. I just collaborated with Flora Exia on a song called Wounded Room, which is out there. I made multiple versions of that. Hoping to collaborate with the Bermuda soul duo Heritage, but they've been real busy under a new release. I'm also trying to work with some other folks that I'm trying to set up. But I continue to develop my idea of the band Electric Ghost again with the, the dual female lead singers, and Stephanie's just got a lower pitched voice than Josephine, and she's got a little bit different character. But this song basically is, she's doubtful you'll ever break even with a queen like me, and she's basically saying, she is such like a diva, such a powerful sexual being that you can't even match her in any way. That if you have a tryst with her, you're gonna end up on a losing side. So like, she's a very aggressive young woman who happens to be a phantom, who's like material and immaterial. She can phase in and phase out of life, and she is very strong in her understanding of like what she can do, and sex to her is like it's like breathing, and she just will just act out however she wants to with males and females and whoever she wants to be with, and she can get cross through dimensions. She's a very powerful being, kind of like Josephine's the same way. And these are the Windover sisters. They're both characters I created. And Josephine and Stephanie kind of go off and just go out to clubs and they meet corporate raiders, and turned around the whole game when it comes to like relationships, because they're the alphas and they just they're in the lead, they control everything. But sometimes I have them like get a little vulnerable, and you'll get a song like Fragile with you tonight, where sometimes I'll have they actually fall in love and they feel a little bit you know, not as in control. But at the end of the day, the default behavior is to be very confident and kind of just out there feeling that there's nothing that really can touch them. This particular song is kind of in that mode where she's feeling very confident. Stephanie's very confident. She knows that she's like like I don't know. She's just real, and she's in charge, and she's gonna just do whatever she wants. She's on top. And so this song, I've got multiple versions. This is like one of the original versions that came from kind of a jam session I was playing with my performance mixer, which has the ability to do real time sonic editing on my workflow. And I found that I was using the Big Crush a lot to like modify the signal, and that can create a really cool effect when you're playing. That when you're playing like a guitar, like on a Juno GI, it allows me to have a really kind of weird phase delay. So when you play the notes, it's a little bit of a delay or manipulation of the sound that allows you to kind of play it like a filter. So when you're playing the instrument like a Juno, and I'm playing the keys and doing the bending of the notes, it causes like a really cool, kind of like a slide guitar in a way. It's a really different effect than just playing it straight. And so I use that as one of the tracks to create this kind of feel, kind of like a slide guitar, electronic, guitar. And that's like one of the primary things in the song. Then I have a piano track that I played live after I did the initial structure of the song, which also has a Morphogene manipulation of a Phantom Electric Ghost track. So I had a track that I did, I think it's rave, like a rave track where I'm talking about Rapture Wants a Rave. So Rapture Wants a Rave more of a gene track that is being manipulated on the time shifting, and it's going on where they're kind of saying rap going to Word Wave and a couple other lyrics from that song running through different pitch control. And also the Mother 32, I've got going through the math module, and I've got some manipulation of that. Turn It 2S also is on this track with some analog signal that I have coming through the sequencer that's native to the system. And then the Studio Electronics microphone is being used to create Stephanie, running through an algorithm on the Zoom to give it a feel. It's like a mastering algorithm that I use on top of the actual VTO3 controls, which allow you to change the pitch and the format and the reverb and some other effects. Then I have the performance mixer is also being used on the vocal signal to give it a sound. And these are all like the details of how I do this, like because it's all being done kind of stream of consciousness type of recording, kind of like a jazz in a way, kind of like Sun Ra is a big inspiration. I know when I was working with Out Control K, we kind of figured out the expansive sound. A lot of it is like based on kind of like jazz aspects of just doing something like a free form, free jazz, playing and then feeling the song out, and you just take your artistic sensibilities and adding like poetry. Because a lot of what I do is like I was originally like a poet, like a poet. I mean, I am a poet. I write a lot of poetry. I've got published books. I had a book I published in the 90s called Cancer. I like to deal with themes of like duality, like microcosm, macrocosm. It tends to be how I do music. I have this idea like to do concepts. So within electronic dance music, a lot of times you guys it's like dance songs and it's got nice beats and music going on like that. But I try to take like rock concepts, like like Pete Townsend rock opera, like Tommy Quadrophenia, or like Genesis. You think about like Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and a lot of the progressive bands had these ideas to have these big. When the synthesizers came along, it's like they kind of lend themselves to making big ideas of music. So when Robert Moog made the synth, he had a lot of the analog synths. There were a lot of artists that were using them to create progressive music that was not just trying to make a hit. It was more trying to be an art statement that you go out there, you try to tell a story, and use the synth kind of like the way people do it in movies and cinema to kind of create a scene. And what I call it like sound painting. But Jimi Hendrix kind of came up with the term Electric Ladyland, that his music, when I asked him about it, it's like it's a sound painting. So sometimes a song is not just like trying to be a jingle or a hit or trying to have that riff. It's trying to create a mood like a painting. And the layers of what you do when you hear something like Electric Lady, you have a lot of layered sounds from the guitar and the other instruments building up like a vibe and a feel. And that is a lot of what I try to do with Sam Electric Ghost. I try to create like a sonic painting that has a theme, it has a story, and when you listen to it, you kind of get brought into it like a watching a play or something. So that is the genesis of a lot of what I do. I am working on trying to get a show through Reverb Nation. I'm trying to get to play in this year in New York. I could try to play Blackthorn again, but there's only like 15 minutes. You gotta drive 5 hours to play 15 minutes. And I'm not really into that as much as I used to be. I had played like a show in 2017 where I had a guitar player, Eric, and we did a show at the Bushwick Public House, and it was like a 3-hour show, one of the longest shows we ever did. So I'm trying to get back into doing something like that, where I can play like a 45-minute show at Fat Baby, or just get back out there and do it. So I started a new day job, and I got to get back into that We also are looking, as we said before, we are looking for a co-host like we had with All Control K back in the day when we were on Spearmint, where we talk about all things indie music. And I interview indie bands and artists and movie stars and film stars on Anchor. So if you go into my Anchor, if Bam Electric Ghost, you'll see I interviewed Jess Davis, who's an actress in New York. She's going to be working on some Netflix project with Marvel. She's got a movie called Clay coming out. She's done plays in New York City. She's got her trunk line of clothing. She's a real force out there. I've done 2 interviews with her. One I did on Spearmint, and I republished through Anchor, and I recently, a couple weeks ago, did an interview with her. I did an interview with the Bermuda soul band Heritage. They've done a great cover, and they have a song called Red Lips out there, and they have a YouTube video. It's a really awesome band, kind of have reggae style. They're a duo, like I said, female and male, singer, songwriters. They have a really, they're a really cool band. You should check them out. And Shannon Ariana I interviewed this year about Eon Flux for a new record. In addition, I brought back an interview we did with the Punk Brothers, The Muted, and I put their interview from this year. I put it up on Anchor. I'm also working on bringing Christian Passion's interview back out, and also to bring Rain's interview back up. And my overall goal is to get all the interviews I did on Spearmint back here on this platform. Almost all of them. Some of them are not coming back because of like issues I had with the artist. So we're gonna go and try to move forward with this platform. We've got additional people we're interviewing in the next month, and going into August. We want to try to do product reviews, and part of the co-host that we want to do is like somebody that's really into like NAMM or into Superbooth or into any kind of like electronic music, or so we want to discuss new things like a Prophet X or Teenage Engineering OPC. We'll talk about what our thoughts are on all this cool equipment coming out in analog, digital, to kind of talk about like, should you record on a computer or should you use like a guitar and a real instrument, or is it a combination of both, and what are the benefits of the cost and benefits of doing both, or trying to merge the two. And we like to talk about music overall, from like I talk about like somebody like Johnny Cash, to talk about Moby, or talking about like Tyler the Creator, or any kind of music that we're into. Basically, just having a discussion as artists about our influences. And so if you want to get in on this, and I'm specifically looking for female artists because I think that a lot of the female artists are not getting traction on the net. They're not being allowed to speak their mind. And a lot of the shows we have out there that talk about this type of stuff, basically there's a lot of men talking about sex, and we don't see a lot of other people doing that. We just see the men talking about sex, and that's fine because they're like hobbyists and they're out there talking, about what they're into. But you don't see a lot of other people, like you don't see women or minorities talking about it. And I don't want to be a jerk about it, but I'd like to see some other types of people, and specifically women and minorities talking about synths and talking about electronic music and talking about the process, not just seeing one type of person. And so if you're into that and you want to do that, and you listen to what I'm doing, like favorite Bam Electric Ghost on Anchor, so we can have a connection. Send me a voice memo saying if you'd like to do this. It's not a paid gig, but if you're into it, it will help you. If you're an artist, it will give you a platform to talk about things and to interview people. And I've been doing this since 2017, and I've been able to, talk to people like Kendra Erica, and I've been able to interview women like, out there like Rain and Hydra, and it's just very interesting. And Kendra Black, had a song with Snoop Dogg, and you never know when you are willing to interview somebody for free, you're able to get out there and talk to people you probably didn't think you could get to talk to. So again, my Skype is KD Jones MTV. That's K as in Kevin, D as in David, J as in Jones. So KD Jones, Mountain Tomboy MTV. And you can Skype me. You can send me a voice memo through this platform. You can contact us through our SoundCloud, Vamp Electric Ghost. We have a blogger page. You can respond there. We're on Instagram as expansive_sound_experiments. You can direct message me there. And I'm really looking to get a co-host as soon as we can. It would be really cool to do that. So let us know if you're interested, and I'll talk to you later.
I don't think you could barely break even with a queen like me. I don't think they barely breathing, 'cause you're too green. I don't barely breathing for a girl like me. I don't think I ever really get into that sex scene. I don't think you could barely even with a dream like me. I don't think you barely breathing, you're too green. I don't think you could even change a little me. I don't think you could ever make a scene if you don't see. I don't think you could ever be with a queen like me. I don't think you could fit in with Josephine. And you're too mean, and you're too clean, and you're not obscene. And you're too mean, and they are clean, and obscene. You got the paper clip scene, you're obscene. You make that money, you make that green, and then you hang with those teens. I told you, you're too mean, you're too mean. with Queen Josephine. I'll you a lot to do that can't get seen. I'm a fantastic. I couldn't see. You just want to be that one. Between things. I don't could ever fit in between sheets with Josephine and Stephanie and that Queen. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a sin. You gotta be elected to be a queen. I'm down with the paperclip scene. That to me. Just stay up and stay up and stay so mean. I'm down with a paper scene. I wanna be with electric queens. To be a dream queen, everything, everything, yes, thing, impossible to get with Queen Jane. You gotta understand, she's me. Understand, she's not me. All she wants to be a king. You gotta understand, she's not me. Wants to be a king. Catholic queen. Impossible to be seen if for me. Impossible to be with that queen. You're not paper scene. You're too mean. You can't eat. You can't dodge. Impossible to be with that queen on that scene. If you're in that paper clip scene. Impossible to be with that queen if you're that mean. You're stuck in a rut on a paperclip scene.
This is Phantom Electric Ghost, and we're talking about the song Impossible to Get with a Queen Like Me, Stephanie. And this is another variation of the song that I've been working on. It came from doing an experiment with the JDXI, which I've been using for a long time to create Josephine Electric's voice. But what I did in this case is I used it to create a drum beat. And I varied the drum beat by just playing with the JDXI capabilities, recording it raw live into a Zoom R24 digital recorder. And then I also have a mother drummer from another mother, Moog, analog drum machine that is running at the same time. Instead of using the vocoder, which I've always done to create Josephine Electric, I used the VTO3, which is their ARIA vocal transformer dedicated vocoder to create Stephanie. And Stephanie is just running at a lower pitch using a format and some other sonic goodness from the vocoder to create this new character that I have. And I think I've talked about how Stephanie is a character in a short story I wrote, and it's actually the character in a play that I created, like a rock opera called September, that's out there for all the streaming services. This version I think of all the versions, probably like 4 versions of the song. And sometimes when you're doing the mix, you can do different mastering on the Zoom. And I did a mastering on this one where it kind of brings out Stephanie's voice, I think, better. I lowered the piano a little bit compared to the first version, and you can hear her voice a lot better, I think, and more clear. And it's just interesting, that I'm pulling together this dual female lead singers for this band. And for a long time, the Phantom's out there. He doesn't have a lot of songs in the catalog. Josephine is the primary lead singer of the band. But Josephine's voice is a little higher pitched. In the early days, I had her a little lower pitched, but lately she's been more high pitched. and Stephanie brings the kind of lower pitched version of my character. So that's it feels really good to be creating this music, and we're finding an audience. We're getting some traction on the streaming services. A lot of people have been listening to a lot of the songs, especially our collaboration with Metaflow. The Wounded Rim songs are doing very well, and I'm very happy about that, because the last collaboration we did was with All Control K back in 2017, and I've been wanting to do that again for a while, so it's just cool to be able to do that. So we'll keep on working on these songs, and this is just another variation of what was already out there. I've got multiple variations. There's one called Cacophony that might be a little too much. I'm going to add it to this podcast so you can kind of decide which version you like. A lot of these songs are out there. Stephanie's version is not out there yet. I'm pushing it out, and I think that's the superior track. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.